Here are some suggestions for study that I promised you in the previous slides. Plan ahead, be prepared. You not only have to plan ahead and have plan A, but you need plan B and possibly plan C. Once you get to nursing school, if your plan A fails and you don't have plan B, it's just too bad. They don't care. So you need to be prepared well in advance and have a backup. Read the chapters before lectures. If you can't read the chapters, at least go through the study outlines at the back of the chapter so you have an idea of the material that's going to be covered. Reading will reinforce information and concepts. A lot of people ask me, well, if you have all these lectures online, do I really need to buy the textbook? Yes. You need to buy it, you need to read it. The lectures will cover a lot of material. They don't cover everything. The book will reinforce what we cover in lecture. The book will also provide new topics and insights that we don't have time to cover. So it's a vital part of the course. It's not a supplement that you just buy and leave on your desk to collect dust. Use it. It's very beneficial for the comprehensive exam at the end of the semester. If you do your readings throughout the semester, you'll be much better off when you take the department test. One suggestion that I make is that in medical schools, such as nursing school, dental schools, medical schools, they usually establish study groups of 3 to 5 people who work together to share the workload and also to get together before an exam and ask each other questions and test each other. This is extremely advisable and it works very, very well. This is an opportunity to experiment with this so that when you get to nursing school, you know what to expect. Please watch and download the lectures and podcasts. You can use these to not only to fill in a lecture you might miss, but you can rewatch them to reinforce concepts or pick up things you might have missed during the class lecture. Some of these lectures and podcasts are like watching a movie. The first time you watch it, you get the overall general idea. But as you watch them the second, and third, and fourth time, you pick up the small things that you missed the first time through. So it's very advisable to at least watch them once along with the class lectures so that you've gone through the whole material twice. Use all of my supplements. I've put in hundreds of hours to make these for the students, so please use them. I have study guides, exercises, handouts, movies, podcasts, even mini lessons on topics that will help you understand concepts once you get to medical or nursing school. One thing I strongly recommend, if you have a new textbook, you have in the book, or there's a card or there's a document that has a code to access Pearson's microbiology place. You get that free with a new textbook. If you buy a used book and that card or code has been used, you cannot use it a second time. However, you can spend $30 and gain access to their microbiology place website. It is extremely useful. If you use the materials on that website along with mine, you can easily raise your grade a whole letter. There is just a ton of material. There are videos, animations, there's questions, practice tests, there's drills, there's vocabulary, flip cards. It's a plethora of information. I highly, highly recommend it. Study for the exams and then take the practice tests. If you do well, then polish your skills a little bit more. If you don't do well, then you really, really need to increase your time to study. I wouldn't wait till the night before the test to take the practice test. I would do it a couple of days in advance. So if you realize you have missed the boat and you have a lot of catching up to do, that you're not trying to cram it in the day before. Pay attention to health issues in the national news. What happened today in medical news? Was there an outbreak? Was a new cure developed? a new antibiotic strain emerged, many times I will give a bonus question on a test if there's some major event that happens in the national news concerning health and microbiology. It will be something that you will see in the newspaper, on CNN, on ABC, all the major networks. It's not going to be some little trivial thing. But I will ask sometimes extra bonus questions. The answer is usually very simple. It's not trying to spell a very complicated name of a microorganism. It's usually a very simple answer, and it can get you some extra points on a test. All the tests won't have these. It just depends on what happens in the news. Remember, you have to take this experience with you to nursing or dental school. The grade you make is not the final, the only objective. It's the experience. You are setting a foundation for yourself and for your whole career. Every minute, every effort you make at this point in time to put into that, you'll be better off down the road in the long run. You'll have a much easier time in nursing school. You'll have possibly a better access to a better job. So you cannot underestimate the amount of time or effort you can put into this course that will pay off later on. Bad news and good news. Not everyone is destined for nursing school. Everyone is not qualified. It's tough. Some don't have the academic prowess to get accepted. Application is very competitive. Just because you come to class or you take a series of courses doesn't qualify you to be accepted in nursing school. You have to put a lot of time and effort into it. You have to make it a life priority. It is very, very, very competitive. And so those that don't put in the time or the effort or try to take shortcuts are the ones who are not going to get in. It's that simple. So if you've done this in the past, you've gotten away with it, I can tell you, time is coming up. It won't work anymore. You're going to have to buckle down, work hard like you've never done in your life, and if you want to succeed, it's just that simple. The ones that do will make it. The ones that don't will not. It's that, literally, quote, black and white, unquote. Not everyone who enters nursing school will graduate. About a quarter to one-third will wash or drop out. Many may have to repeat courses and even entire years. An example, at Emory University, if you score between a 70 and a 74, you don't fail the course, you make a D. But you cannot continue on. You have to go back and repeat the course and make a C or better to continue. If you make more than one D, you're out. The only way you can repeat the course is to wait till the next fall. So you end up having to sit out a whole year, and you get put back in the previous class in order to repeat the course. That can cost you a lot of time and a lot of money. My job is not only to teach you microbiology, but my job is also to raise your academic skills to compete in this type of medical environment and become successful. I've taught in a medical school before. I know how tough it is. I know the rigors. I know the drill, the time. It is extremely tough. And so part of the reasons I make the course very demanding is to prepare you for this environment and this experience. I want you to succeed. The worst thing I could do is to water the course down, have you become accepted, and you don't realize how difficult it is, and then you don't make it. That doesn't serve you well, doesn't serve me well, and so part of my job, and if things get tough, realize part of my job is to raise the bar so that you are successful down the road. How to prepare for class. As I mentioned, read the chapters. Print out the lectures bring them to class. There are slide printouts on the public.me.com website. You can print them out 2 slides to a page or 3 slides to a page. You can also print them out in black and white so they don't take a lot of your color ink. The 3 slides per page also have lines out to the right so you can take notes. This allows you to focus on the information that's being presented without having to spend a lot of time copying, and you can jot a few extra notes in the side margins of the slides. As you study for a class, list any questions you have so you don't forget to ask them. I know you'll think, oh, I'll remember to ask that tomorrow, and then you forget it. Make some notes on either your slide printouts or put a note in your book to ask the question. If you don't ask it in class, you may see it on a test, and I may be asking it to you, so you don't want to miss the opportunity to get the answer. Don't be Homer. Bring your brain to class. Class is not to sleep or to text or to do other activities in. If you want to do those, then just don't come. If you come to class, you're expected to participate and become involved. Don't be like Igor. Bring your brain to class. So what about the exams? Class is about 75 minutes. The exams will be in color with illustrations, as pictured in the illustration to the right. Please do not write on the exams, as they are expensive to print. As you could guess, they are printed in color and they consume a lot of resources. The pictures are for your reference and to stimulate your memory of pictures you've seen on slides before. There will be occasionally pictures that you have to label through a matching process. Isn't Keynote slick? The test will take about an hour, or 60 to 70 minutes. At approximately 8:10, with about 10 minutes left in class, or 5 or 10, I will post the answers to the questions that were on the test. During the test, you will be given the test itself, you'll have your Scantron, and you'll be given another sheet of paper called My Answers. As you fill your Scantron out, you can put your answers on your My Answer sheet. At the end of the test period, you turn in the test and your Scantron, but you keep your My Answer sheet. At 8:10, I'll post the answers, and you can check your answers against the correct answers, and by the time you leave class, you'll have a good idea within 2 or 4 points what your grade is. In addition, within 24 hours, I will have the final grade posted on iCollege. I do that for every single exam. Now, I've mentioned the microbe test. They're a separate part of a test in which you have to learn the characteristics of 50 important bacteria. Shocking. But you have the whole semester to do this. A little relief. You'll need to know the gram reaction of all 50 organisms, the shape of the cell, whether it utilizes oxygen or not, does it form spores, and if it's pathogenic, what disease does it cause? Now, this seems like a lot of information. However, it's not nearly that bad. So to assist you, I've organized a study guide. The study guide is called Notable Bacteria, and you can find it on the public website. This is what the first page looks like. They're organized by color. So pink is gram-negative, purple is gram-positive, magenta is acid-fast,